So what's in the wrapping, sir?
That's what they have to tell us, yeah.
Well, that's true. That is the entire code of conduct coming in from SEBI for top board members. Let's move next to a big story. We've been bringing you updates on this. The first stimulus package that was released last week, we told you about a second one coming, and that is coming for sure. But what have been some of the issues that have left banks and certainly those who deal with banks a little concerned? For example, non-banking finance companies have not been able to reach to the consumer to spark demand. Will this mean that the government will give them a helping hand and turn NBFCs from non-banks into some sort of banks?
The global meltdown has left these NBFCs pretty much high and dry. But the government's efforts at the Prime Minister's Apex Committee meet to convert them to banks had been shot down by the Reserve Bank of India. Now NDTV has learnt that the Commerce Ministry will try again, this time with the possible backing of the Finance Ministry. In fact, the Commerce Ministry has already drawn up an eligibility criteria for the conversion of NBFCs into banks. Like NBFCs should have an asset strength of at least 6,000 crore rupees. There should be no adverse findings by the RBI on the NBFCs in question. The NBFCs should have a capital adequacy ratio of at least 15%, all of which should be backed by a collateral pledged itself, backed by AAA rated securities. As of now, some of the bigger NBFCs could fulfill these norms, including HDFC with assets of over 80,000 crore rupees. Power Finance Corporation at over 50,000 crore rupees, along with Rural Electrification Corporation, IDFC and LIC Housing Finance.
If granted, this would open up instant access to cheap and regular flow of public deposits at 3.5% that only banks could afford so far, which would automatically solve the entire credit crunch issue forever. A big sigh of relief for almost dried up big-ticket NBFCs like Reliance Money and Tata Finance.
But the RBI, like last time, is not very keen on it, since deposits can also be made available to NBFCs through an additional license. Added to that is the fear of cross-lending by big conglomerates owning banks, which could happen in the case of players like Tata and Reliance NBFCs becoming banks. With such solid opposition and the ultimate approval lying in the hands of the Prime Minister, the Commerce Ministry is strongly relying on backing from the Finance Ministry to push this case through. With Devdatta Das in New Delhi, Subhashri Rajgopalan, NDTV.